Okay, good morning. So, have you ever wondered what to look for when you're buying a house? What kind of red flags should stick out to make you know that you need to investigate further? So, we're about to find out. I got my notes down here, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. So, and I have 15 red flags to look for. So number one is doors that won't close. If you come across a door that won't shut all the way, that means the framing is off, and it's an indication that the framing has shifted and now the framing is out of square. So that would definitely be something to look further into. And all these things doesn't necessarily mean that you don't need to buy the house. It's just things that you should investigate further, really get the inspector to check out when you have your inspection, and ask a lot of questions about these certain red flags. Number two would be large foundation cracks. So most foundations have little hairline cracks, and that's just from normal settlement. But if you find ones that have the large cracks, that could indicate foundation issues. Point it out, ask questions, and get some answers. Number three, if you walk into a house and it smells moldy, or it's just a really stale odor. Mold smells really stale. Definitely check under all sinks, behind toilets. You can just casually look for this stuff and see if you can find with your visible eye a leak. If there's been a leak that's been there for a while, it could indicate that the flooring needs to be replaced, carpets need to be replaced, all kinds of stuff. And just something else to point out to your inspector. Number four, active infestation of termites. If you find active infestations of mice or termites or any kind of animal, definitely point that out. And you always want to ask for a termite letter, especially if the house is close to woods. So one tell sign is small brown droppings close to a wall. A hollow sound when you knock on the wood. It just sounds really hollow, like there's nothing behind it. Or the presence of the mud tube foundations going up a wall. That is termites. Number five, when you walk into a house, the first thing you need to always do is look up. Look up. Pay attention to all the ceilings. And if you see any sort of water stain, point it out to your agent. Get them to ask questions. Find out why it's there, how long it's been there. And if it's coming from an upstairs, always get it checked out by the inspector, but it could be coming from the sewage lines upstairs. So definitely check into stuff like that. A saggy ceiling. A saggy ceiling can be a result of roof leaks, structure movement, or an active foundation in the attic. Always look at the ceilings. Number seven, any do-it-yourself additions, especially if they have not been permitted. That's great. I know homeowners want to do stuff themselves. We have as well. Always make sure they get it permitted though, because it could lead to plumbing issues, wiring issues, foundation issues. There are some really good people out there that know what they're doing, but a lot of times people don't know what they're doing, and you don't want to buy a house that's going to cost you more, in the end. Number eight, new paint. So a lot of times people will, and I highly recommend my sellers to put a new coat of paint on the walls. But if you walk into a house and you notice spot paints in different spots, or only one wall in a room has been painted, definitely check that out, because it could indicate that these sellers are trying to cover up something they don't want you to see. The more questions you ask, the better it is for you as the buyer. Number nine, strong air fresheners. I always like to put some sort of smell good stuff in my seller's home for showings, but if it's super strong and empowering, it could indicate that they're trying to cover up odors they don't want you, the buyer, to smell, such as pet urine or mold. So just ask questions like, hey, why the air fresheners? It never hurts to ask. Number 10, if you go into a neighborhood and you see for sale signs everywhere and it looks like everyone in the neighborhood is selling, beware of that. Ask questions, because it could potentially be the location. There's something wrong with the location and all the people that are there now are currently moving out, Or if it's an HOA, there could be an issue with the HOA. So just ask questions. Number 11, if there's standing water in the yard, it is always a good idea that if you are looking to buy a house, to just casually drive by the house that you like after a good rain and see if you see standing water in the yard. It could very well indicate a drainage issue. Number 12, inadequate attic ventilation, which could cause all sorts of issues. So from the outside of the house around the top of the roof, you should be able to see, if it has an attic, some sort of attic ventilation, a vent or an exhaust pipe, some sort of ventilation for the attic. Number 13, an aging HVAC unit. HVAC units can be very expensive, anywhere from $6,000 to $20,000. So an average HVAC unit lasts anywhere from 10 to 12 years. So always try to look on the HVAC unit, get your agent to look to see what date it is. Because you want to know, if you're, that's not like, that wouldn't be a deal breaker, I would say, but you want to know, add in your cost moving in, that you may have to possibly replace that. So you go ahead and add in that cost. Number 14, shingle problems. I think you should always look at the roof, no matter if it's shingle or a tin roof or whatever. Always check out the roof, because a new roof is super, super expensive. Shingles that curl up at the corners, missing shingles or cracked shingles, exposed nail heads, all those are signs that it potentially needs a new roof pretty soon. And number 15, as is properties. If a seller is selling the property as is, they're pretty sure that there are some issues, and they're telling you they're just not willing to fix them if it comes up in the inspection report. So just be prepared that when you go in, that once you get that inspection report back, you may want to end up backing out of buying the property, depending on what they find. That's not always the case, but usually it is the case. So those are 15 red flags to remember when you are searching for your home. And remember to always find the right agent to work for you, the buyer. Subscribe to my channel. Follow me. I have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and for more real estate advice. Have a great day.